As a young boy, the former President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, would walk back home from school with his friends. On their way, they would all rest at the banks of a village pond. While his friends threw pebbles in the water and played, Kalam mostly sat in silence, watching the seagulls and cranes soar in the sky. The sight of the flying birds inspired Kalam deeply, and he knew he wanted to be an aeronautical engineer in the future. In a few years, he joined the best institution for technical studies in South India, the Madras Institute of Technology, popularly known as MIT. Kalam came from a poor family, and thus he worked very hard to win a scholarship that allowed him to study at this well-known university. One day, when he entered the MIT campus, he saw two large aircrafts on display. Fascinated by them, he sat alone for hours admiring the details. And his own dream of designing an aircraft became stronger in his heart. A few days later, he was assigned a project to design a fighter jet by his design teacher, Professor Srinivasan. He began working on the project with full enthusiasm, but on the day of his review, Professor Srinivasan said in an apparent disgust, "Oh Kalam, I am disappointed." Kalam offered several reasons, but his teacher refused to listen. Then Kalam pleaded, "Sir, please give me one more month. I will come up with a better design." But unmoved by his pleas, Professor Srinivasan said, "Look, young man, today is Friday afternoon. I give you 3 days' time. If by Monday morning I don't get the configuration design, your scholarship will be stopped." Kalam got the jolt of his life when he heard this, but he did not lose heart and took up the challenge. At the prospect of losing his scholarship, he did not sleep that night and went on working non-stop. The next day, Kalam only took a break of 1 hour. On Sunday morning, when Kalam was near completion, he felt someone's presence in the lab. When he turned around, he saw his teacher, Professor Srinivasan, standing and smiling just behind him. He patted and hugged Kalam affectionately and then took him to his home and offered him some great Madras coffee, saying, "I knew I was putting you under a lot of stress and asking you to meet a very difficult deadline. But you have surprised me by doing an incredibly great job, and I am thoroughly impressed." That day, Abdul Kalam won back his scholarship and left behind an important lesson for every one of us facing stress in our lives. Many years later, Dr. Abdul Kalam said that through this stress mechanism, teachers like Professor Srinivasan inject the necessity of understanding the value of time. And this leads to the ignition of minds and enhancement of capacity manifolds. So, dear friends, if you have stress at work or studies, use it as it was used by Abdul Kalam. Let the stress fire up your intelligence, boost your creativity, and take you towards innovation and greater possibilities. Thanks for watching. And if you find inspiration in wise words and stories, please subscribe to my channel for more. And stay simply wise.